Welcome back. It is 5:12 here. It is Earth Day, so happy Earth Day to you. And as we celebrate it, we're raising awareness about our changing climate and everything that's been happening over the past several years, many of these major events. And luckily, we are joined today by NASA climatologist, Dr. Lesley Ott. And Dr. Ott, I want to start initially. I do weather, you do climate. I think a lot of us associate them with the same thing, but they are very, very different things.
Yeah, we often say that weather is like your mood. It changes a lot. It can change from day to day. And climate is like your personality. Really the long-term average of weather. It's what your weather or your personality is typically like. So they're related, but you're right, very, very different things.
Very different. And something cool, we both use satellites. Y'all, NASA just launched a new satellite called PACE. Let's talk about what that adds to y'all's ability to do everything that y'all do with climate studies.
Yeah, PACE is a game changer. So PACE is really designed to look at ocean color, which is the amount of green chlorophyll, which is produced by these tiny plant-like organisms called phytoplankton. Previous satellites could only see like one color of green, but PACE has such a detailed instrument, they can actually see this sort of rainbow of greens. And what that's allowing us to do is see all of the tiny different species of phytoplankton, really incredible, so that we can understand the bottom layer of that marine food, the marine food web, and how the ocean can sustain life all over the planet.
And so far, I mean, have y'all seen anything that y'all found shocking, or what have y'all seen so far with it being up the past month or two?
You know, you hope that you don't find anything shocking. What I would say is this is living up to expectations or exceeding them. So really just the detail, the accuracy of the data. And for the first time, being able to actually see these different phytoplankton communities. And another thing about PACE that's really incredible, not just life in the ocean, it's seeing tiny aerosol particles in the atmosphere. So we're able to see smoke, even smoke coming off the East Coast from some unusual fire activity earlier in the spring. That's really incredible in terms of the detail that we're getting from all of these views.
Yeah, and you know, the climate change and our changing climate, we've been talking about it for decades now. How far have we come in our ability to look ahead and see, well, essentially forecast what the changing climate's going to do for, you know, humanity and what exactly happens in the future with climate change? Have we seen leaps and bounds with the forecasting ability?
You know, it's really interesting. I think what we've seen is a lot better understanding of the effects of climate change. And so some of these kinds of changes that we see in extreme events, things like wildfires, floods, droughts, those have been things that climate models have predicted for a long time. And what satellite data are really allowing us to do is understand the impacts on local communities, understand how those events are playing out. And we know that unfortunately, a lot of those model projections were accurate, but I will say in terms of a note of optimism, satellite data are at least helping communities all over the world navigate the challenges that are posed by climate change.
And that was going to be my final question. I know we see these alarming studies coming out on the regular now, and I was going to ask, do you have optimism? Are you optimistic about the future with our climate change and what we've been looking at?
You know, it's always a tough question. I am. It's a challenging problem. There's no question about it. And there's no organization, no country, no group that can solve this alone. But I think we're starting to understand and develop solutions. We're seeing positive changes across the world, all the way from local levels, from city levels up to national levels. We're starting to see that progress and the progress on the science side of helping people navigate changes as we work to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions.
Indeed, and we thank you so much for all the climatologists do, and we thank you so much for joining us this morning. That's Dr. Lesley Ott with a NASA climatologist. And happy Earth Day to you. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.